Hey, just before we jump into the video, just wanted to say if you're already a subscriber, thanks a lot for the support. It means so much to me. If you are new around here and you haven't seen much, or you've maybe watched one or two videos, please drop a wee hit on the subscribe button. It means so much to me. There's plenty of playlists, plenty of content here for you no matter where you are on your Football Index journey. I'm sure you'll find something very useful for you. And let's get stuck into it. And here we go, guys. The please don't get relegated squad, if you like. We're going to be starting off with Burnley. Okay, it's probably the strongest out of the bottom bunch. In terms of transfers for Burnley, we had Drinkwater come in, this boy from Leeds. The Tom Heaton, the #1 goalkeeper. Jay Rodriguez has came back. Eric Peters has came in. I don't know the boy they've just got back from Central Coast, to be honest. And as I scroll through, nobody else is really jumping out at me. In terms of, just a few boys coming back from loan and whatever. Naki Wells has been sold, I think we've seen up here. He's way back on loan. Okay, cool. So let's dive through it. In goals, it's going to be between Joe Hart and Nick Pope. Don't see them really doing much for you in terms of dividends. Clean sheets, Burnley are good for it, of course, so whoever's #1 is going to be decent enough. At the back, Ben Mee and Eric Peters are going to be pretty solid. Matthew Lowton gets a good write-up. Bardsley can be useful, but there's nothing here I would really put my name on and go. Ben Gibson, he could maybe move on after Burnley, but there's not very much. James Tarkowski, I thought he'd maybe left. No, he's not. There's a few bits of potential for future transfers, but in terms of actual dividends and that type of thing, there's quite slim pickings. That midfield is very shallow. Drinkwater, Jeff Hendrick, Jack Cork, Robbie Brady, Gudmundsson, Ashley Westwood are definitely going to be a combination of the midfield. It's going to be 4-4-2, would expect. Charlie Taylor has just came in, I think. Is he one of the new boys? No, there's a Taylor boy that's been floating about, sorry. 25. Yeah, it was last season he came in. But yeah, again, there's not much there in terms of future potential call-ups, transfers, that type of thing. Maybe if Burnley were to get relegated, some of these guys would end up at like Southampton or Bournemouth or whatever, but very slim pickings. Dwight McNeil is probably the standout name in the entire squad for having your portfolio, just for how young he is and the potential he has. Jay Rodriguez and Ashley Barnes could definitely score you some goals, as could Matty Vidra and Chris Wood. Aaron Lennon, of course, we know can be dangerous and can be good for dribbles. Depending on if they have a single match day, that type of thing, he might be worth looking at. But Dwight McNeil is really the only player I would be paying much attention to on the index. Brighton are quite interesting, having brought in Graham Potter. They look to be changing the style of football that they've got. And in terms of transfers, Aaron Moy is the one that really jumped out to me. I didn't know Kyle had left. I'm a wee bit disappointed in that. Neil Maupay and Adam Webster coming in from the Championship as well. Both with decent reps and, the good hope that they do well, I suppose. And as I scroll through the rest of this list, it's nothing much is really, nothing really worth note. So let's have a look at the team. Matty Ryan is going to start in goals. The defence is going to be Duffy and Dunk again. This Webster boy, I think he's a centre half from what I hear on the radio. Shane Duffy, of course, is a centre half. But there's not much here that really jumps out at me. Like he's going to be Martin Montoya is a kind of centre half right back. If it's the Barca boy that played for Stoke, I think. It is the Barca boy. I thought he signed for Stoke as well at some point. In terms of midfield, quite slim. Jan, the Iranian guy, I think he's actually a forward. But in terms of centre mid, you're looking at Davy Proper, Aaron Moy, Pascal Gross, Solly March. These kind of guys are going to be playing. Aaron Moy is a bit of a favourite of mine. I can see him being there, kind of Milivojevic. He's good at set pieces. He's box to box. He's strong. He wins tackles, passing and key passing. He could be dangerous for Brighton this year. And then up front, there's a lot of kind of half okay players here. Neil Maupay, I think, is expected to step up. Jose Izquierdo and Locadia, they've came in with promise. They've not quite hit the ground running. The new manager might get a tune out of them. And Glenn Murray, of course, is probably going to be the super sub, and he'll probably play more than Brighton fans might like. But yeah, Jahan Bakash, or whatever his name is, will be playing wide forward as well. So they've got a bit of attacking threat this year. I think Maupay's probably the one who you'd look at is going to be the kind of standout in that team. Otherwise, in terms of who you want to be having, the defenders are going to be worth having in terms of the ones we named in case they're transferred in January or next summer. But there's not much here I would get overly excited about at this juncture. And then we've basically got the 3 new teams. Okay, so she got wrong direction. The 3 new teams coming up, we have Norwich, Sheffield and Aston Villa. So let's just start with Villa. Where are they? They're up there. Now Villa have been very busy in this window, done some great business. So we're looking at guys like Douglas Luiz, Tom Heaton, the Trezeguet boy, I think we like him just because of his name. Wesley, of course, Tyrone Mings made permanent. Matt Targett has great stats. El Ghazi's been made permanent. Yotta's came in from Birmingham. So they've done some good business. Now they've spent a lot of money there in the risk of doing a Fulham. Tom Heaton's going to be in goals. In terms of the back, we're going to see a mixture of James Chester, Tyrone Mings is centre halves probably. They're going to be the first choices. And then full backs, Matt Targett, Neil Taylor, El Mohammadi, and they're the only names that jump out at me. Matt Targett's the one I would be spending my attention on in this defence, just because of his previous record, how young he is, and the likelihood of him leaving Villa in the summer or whatever for a bigger team is there. And also if Villa do well, he'll be doing well, assists and that type of thing. So Matt Targett. Midfield is very, very busy of talent, so Jack Grealish, Conor Hourihane, Lansbury, Douglas Luiz, John McGinn. My attention is the 3 main ones here. Grealish, Luiz and McGinn. I think they're all stars in the making, and they won't be at Villa for the next 3 seasons between the 3 of them. And having any of them, I think that's quite a safe bet. And then up front, Kodja, can he kick on? Wesley, is he going to be the real deal? Can El Ghazi step up to the Premier League? This Trezeguet boy out wide forward, can he do well? And they've got a boy called Marvellous, so he might be interesting as well. Jota, I believe he was a striker, so there's some potential up front there as well. Wesley being Brazilian, if he does well, he is likely to get some attention and some love on the index. We then move down and we've got, let's just go with Norwich. In terms of transfers, nothing really jumps out at me. A boy in on loan from Sevilla. Sam Byram has came in. I think that's a bit of a snip. He could do really well. Charlie Gilmore and Aidan Fitzpatrick. Oh my God, I didn't realise he'd moved there. Oh God. Ralph Farman, of course. Let me tell you about Aidan Fitzpatrick real quickly. I coached at Thistle for a few years, and when I did, Aidan Fitzpatrick was like 14. 15, and he was been scouted by like Liverpool, Celtic, Rangers, whatever. He stayed at Thistle, and if you look at his stats in terms of appearances and whatever, he's 18 right now, and look at the amount of games he's played senior football. This guy, I don't think he's going to get in anywhere near the Norwich team, but he's definitely a name you want to be keeping an eye out for. He is exciting. I didn't realise he'd moved. Wow. Sorry about the random excitement. If you're a Norwich fan, trust me, he's good. And if he kicks on, he could be a player. But he is small, but he's very good. I watched him when he was 15 against a reserve team of men, and he came on for the last 10 minutes and made 2 goals. Could have scored one on top of that for himself, So very, very talented boy. And goals, I think it's going to be Ralph Farman. You don't bring a guy like that in and not play him. At the back, Sam Byram at right back. And then Grant Hanley and Tim Closer are probably going to be the centre half. Max Aarons as a right back as well, I believe. And then they've got a left back, Jamal Lewis. So a lot of attacking wing backs there. Aarons, I think, has been linked with Spurs, so he's probably going to be a very good hold. Emiliano Buendia gets a lot of love on the index, and I believe he could have a good season as well. Kenny McLean, I know from his time with Scotland, is very good, but Patrick Roberts is the name that really jumps out at me with the changes we've had to the matrix and the dribble stats and all that type of thing. If he stays fit, Patrick Roberts, from his time in Scotland and in the SPL, it took 3 players to get the ball off Roberts without fouling him. And if he can replicate any of that form in the Premier League, he will be great to have on the index because of his Man City pedigree and how young he is, and he's English and he's exciting and whatever as well. And then Timo Pukki and Joseph Durmich up front, between the two of them, if they can get 10 to 15 goals each, Norwich will be safe, and they could be potentially really good holds. Durmich is a big target man, and Pukki is a fox in the box the last 25 yards. He's quick off the mark, and obviously we all know how amazing he did last year. Norwich have quite an attractive team in my opinion for the index. Sheffield United, transfer wise, I don't remember anything too exciting. Mo Besic, some Dutch guy. Ollie McBurney came in for big money. Dean Henderson's back in on loan from Man United in goals. Ravel Morrison has came in. Jagielka's back as a player coach, and otherwise as much of a muchness. Connor Washington from Hearts. Let's have a look at the squad. So it's going to be Dean Henderson in goals. At the back, Jack O'Connell is worth having. He gets a good write-up, and being I was going to say he's 31, that's not good, but being 25 in English, he could move on to like a Burnley or a Bournemouth or Newcastle or something like that quite easily if they were to be relegated. Chris Basham is a name I'm familiar with, I don't know why. Ollie Norwood I know is a good midfielder. Ravel Morrison could be a headline act if he gets his act together. Mo Besic is a tried and tested centre mid. John Fleck could be there. Milivojevic, I've seen this on Twitter. He takes penalties and free kicks, a really solid number. He's number 4 in the squad, but he plays centre mid, and when he was at Rangers he was seen as the next big thing to kind of rival like Aidan McGeady and the kind of youth players that come through at Celtic, and he's had a solid career in the lower reaches of England. I'll be really glad to see him get his Premier League chance, and I hope he really gets a chance to kick on. Ollie McBurney, David McGoldrick, Billy Sharp and Leon Clark are all big target men in the box, and depending on who plays them most, it's probably going to be Billy and Ollie. They could be good for goals, and Ollie McBurney might get a transfer off the back of a good season if they were to be relegated, but I think Chris Wilder's got a great story behind him, and for that reason I'd like to see Sheffield United stay up. I think they must be favourites to go down, guys. Okay, so there is a few bargain basements, good buys you could have on the index in this please don't get relegated group. But otherwise there's not much I would be throwing tons and tons of money at. You'll need to get the fixtures, you need to get some results to hit, I think, before you'll really see who's worth putting your money in. And please, for this type of hold, don't think you've missed the boat if somebody rises 10p before you buy them, if you're then buying them with more evidence to support the reason you would buy them, guys, okay? Because there's nothing worse than putting money in somewhere and then their form doesn't go the way you want them to, or they get injured or whatever, guys, okay? So please be cautious with these guys at the bottom reaches. Because sometimes their career doesn't go forward, it stagnates. Okay, thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Like, share, subscribe, retweet. Look forward to the Premier League season. I'm absolutely hyped for it. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.